first on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. Cars Plus, Guam's automotive leader in sustainability and electric vehicles. Learn more at carsplusguam.com. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Hopefully, the law will prevail.
3 teens are now in custody in connection to the rash of tire slashings and school break-ins.
Our elderly are the most targeted, perhaps, and certainly the most vulnerable.
Don't fall victim to scams. The FBI warning the community to watch out and report any potential cases of fraud as they see a rise in those type of crimes targeting or Manamco.
FestPac is just hours away and the last delegates from the Northern Marianas and Guam arrive in Hawaii. I'm Tomas Maglonia with the full story coming up.
Hafa and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Biba Fresco Friday. Thank you
Biba.
Thank you so much for ending your week here with us.
Well, topping our news tonight, 3 teens are now being held in the Department of Youth Affairs for their alleged involvement in a crime spree. Investigators saying they targeted residents and schools in Hoggett and Santa Rita.
KUAM brought you the story earlier this week after those teens were caught on camera slashing tires in those villages. Now residents hope their arrests serve as a lesson for youngsters as the summer break gets going.
3 children ages 13 to 15 are now spending the start of summer break locked up.
It was the people of Guam who went out there and tried to stop this pandemic of these unnecessary action of these teenagers.
Santa Rita resident Ignacio Canata echoes the relief his neighborhood is feeling after Guam police caught their suspects.
First of all, I love the teamwork from students, from parents to friends and family who got together to fight this crime.
As KUAM reported, about a handful of children were seen on video surveillance walking at night in the Santa Rita Sumai area, slashing the tires of parked cars. The crime spree targeting residents in Hoggett as well, with at least 20 incidents reported. Police say in total 5 teens were taken in for questioning. 3 of them allegedly admitted to the tire slashings, along with burglaries reported at Marshall Sablan Elementary, Ocean View Middle School, and Southern High School. Investigators even connecting them to a reported trespassing and property damage complaint at Mount Carmel Charter School.
The bucks don't stop here. We need to continue to protect Guam and their culture and their less vulnerable people.
Kanata thanks police for quickly solving this case.
Hopefully, the law will prevail. I hope these students will learn a lesson that, hey, I know it's early in life for them, but they can stop and make a change. Hope this can be an eye-opener for the rest of those kids in Guam to stop vandalizing Guam's beautiful culture from spray painting, slashing tires, stealing vehicles, running into the store, pulling up, beers from the stores and not paying it.
The 3 teens are now in DYA, arrested for committing crimes against the community, including burglary, theft of property, graffiti, violating curfew laws beyond control, and criminal mischief.
Well, the FBI is keeping an eye on a rise in financial crimes targeting senior citizens.
They're warning the community to watch out for elder fraud and to make a report immediately and persistently. Mitsuki Hirayama reports.
Elder fraud is on the rise, and it's on the FBI's radar. A recent FBI fraud report indicating a 14% increase in elder fraud complaints and an 11% increase in total losses.
Our information shows that these reports have discovered over $3 billion in losses.
An alarming 40% of fraud victims are those 60 years and older, according to FBI Special Agent in Charge Stephen Merrill.
The criminals target the elderly because they, one, tend to be more trusting, but two, they might have more money.
Last year, 15 people reported elder fraud to the FBI locally, scammed out of nearly $600,000 in total. But he says there's likely a much higher count as these type of cases go largely unreported, especially in Guam.
Those that are 60 and over are unfortunately being victimized to a bigger extent.
It's why the FBI is warning the community to keep their eyes peeled and watch out for any suspicious activity targeting our most vulnerable, especially for the most costly scheme on the rise, cryptocurrency investment.
So if someone's coming to you and they either email you or social media contact you out of the blue, and they offer you an investment return to buy cryptocurrency, and it'll give you this incredible investment. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
But if they do fall victim, he says to report it immediately to the bank and authorities and do so persistently.
If I was advising one of my own family members, I would tell them to make as many complaints as they can, meaning like call the FBI, call your local police, register it on the FBI system ic3.gov.
Matsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Team Northern Marianas is now complete at the Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture in Hawaii.
Regional correspondent Tomas Manglonia is there and speaks with their delegates at the Honolulu International Airport ahead of the opening ceremony today.
The last group of delegates from Northern Marianas and Guam have arrived in Hawaii for FestPac. It's Rhoda Weaver Antonelli Rosario's first time at the largest Indigenous Pacific Islander celebration.
We're really excited to be here in the FestPac to showcase what Rhoda has and what the CNMI has to share with these other islanders, to share our knowledge and skill to the next generation that are coming up.
That next generation includes 17-year-old dancer Alexandra Castro from Tanapag in Saipan. She said it was her first time to leave Saipan and fly on an airplane.
Honestly, I feel very honored because I'm very in touch with my culture because of this experience. And also because, it was my family before me and now I'm here. And after them representing for so long, it's me. I hope that I can, continue this legacy with my kids too.
Raquel Agan from Tinian shares that passion for her culture as one of the 60 dancers representing the NMI.
The day has finally come. It's very exciting for us to be here after the couple of months of countless hours and late night practices and blisters and all the hard work. We're finally happy to finally be here to showcase what we have put together.
Tomas Manglonia, KUAM News, Hawaii.
And you can head over to KUAM News and KUAM CNMI Instagram pages and Facebook for updates through the weekend as Team Guam and NMI join our Pacific family at FestPac.
Wow, literally what an amazing experience. Well, Tomas also brought a live look from the opening ceremony today on KUAM's Facebook page.
He calls the mood there electrifying. So let's check back in to see more coverage from the opening ceremony and the Parade of Nations.
Hafidam Tomas Manglonia reporting in Hawaii at the 13th Festival of the Pacific Arts. We are just moments away from the opening ceremony and the much anticipated Parade of Nations. We'll be following along Team Guam and Team CNMI. Here's a few people we spoke with from both of those delegations.
I'm a little nervous, very, very excited. We're ready to go on the Parade of Nations, so our group is excited to do this. We are going to do an opening, so this is the first one, kickoff.
Well, it's important, especially for us in Guam and then as well, Hawaii as well, to remember that we are a part of the Pacific.
You can continue to follow our up-to-the-minute coverage on KUAM News and KUAM CNMI Instagram, and of course KUAM.com. Reporting in Hawaii, I'm Tomas Manglonia.
The new leader of a local telecommunications company discusses her plans now that she's been tapped as its CEO.
And Project Today. Find out more about an initiative to honor living World War II survivors.
Half-a-day Fresco Fridays on KUAM News. Presented by Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas. Located in Hagåtña, just across from the Gani Shopping Center.
Welcome to Kmart, your 24-hour superstore since 1995. Always there for you day or night. At Kmart, we're committed to offering you an extensive selection of products at prices you won't find anywhere else. From the essential to the exceptional, our aisles are alive with possibility. Bloom with confidence, style, and savings this spring. Discover stylish clothing that fits your budget without compromising on quality. From trendy pieces to timeless classics, find the perfect look for every member of your family without spending a fortune. Then pamper yourself with our selection of essentials, from nourishing shampoos to rejuvenating beauty products and soaps. And let imagination soar with our selection of toys and games for kids of all ages. At Kmart, experience the thrill of discovery as you explore our aisles, filled with a variety of quality products that cater to your every need. From groceries to home goods to outdoor essentials, we are the ultimate one-stop shop. Dive into an unparalleled shopping experience where quality, variety, and savings await at every turn. Shop smart, save big at Kmart, your 24-hour superstore.
The innovation you've been waiting for is here. Built on the 16X Cheez-It platform, it's the first flavor matrix stable enough to make a Cheez-It tostada possible, and cheesy enough to power the Crunch Wrap. Because if you want to change the world, you have to bring something big to the table. Think big.
Welcome back to Primetime. The military's Valiant Shield 2024 exercise will also include activities seen from our local airport. The Guam International Airport has been designated as a support location for the military exercises. So just a heads up, if you do see the uptick in activity and noise from there, it is taking place in the region from today through June 18th.
Valiant Shield is a multinational biennial field training exercise with a focus on integrating joint training among U.S. and partner nation forces. Airport Executive Manager John Kanata says, quote, Guam International Airport runways and taxiways are a vital piece of infrastructure supporting not only commercial aviation, but a critical alternate or divert location for Andersen Airfield. He thanks the community for their patience and understanding as the airport does its part in support of these joint military training exercises. Well, some leadership changes are announced today by the administration. Guam Behavioral Health Director Therese Arreola has now been moved to serve as the Acting Director of the Department of Public Health and Social Services. Serving as Acting Director at Behavioral Health and Wellness Center is now Carissa Pangilinan. She was previously the Acting Director at the Department of Integrated Services for Individuals with Disabilities.
Dr. James Kuberners is Deputy Director of Behavioral Health. He served as the agency's Psychiatric Social Service Administrator since 2022. Prior to taking on this new role. Audrey Tapasnia has been tapped as Deputy Director of DISID, and Dr. Judy Wampat is now serving as Chief Advisor on Education. Wampat was the interim Guam Department of Education Superintendent prior to the hiring of Dr. Kenneth Swanson.
Well, she's ready to get to work and lead the company in a direction that includes trust and innovation. Docomo Pacific's new CEO, Christine Boleto, speaks with KUAM about her new role.
Here's part of our interview from today. And the first woman to fill this role as well, right?
First woman, yeah, on Guam, and as far as I know, within Docomo, JP Docomo, and NTT. So, you know, as I mentioned, it was not something that I ever would think was on the horizon for me, and I'm just super pleased that the board of directors felt that I was the right person for the job.
So tell us, what are some of your plans, your first order of business?
Well, the first order of business, you know, as I mentioned, this has been a very difficult year for our company. And I think that, you know, going through those challenges amidst the uncertainty of whether we were for sale or not, really affected a lot of the employees. We have employees that have been with us for over 29 years, you know, and so there's a love for this company, and there's, you know, this foundation that we're part of the community, and having that kind of be called into question was very difficult for our employees. So very first, it hasn't even actually stopped. I'm still going around to the different departments and divisions, having conversations with them, collecting their feedback, reassuring them, and really refocusing them on what Docomo is best at. And that's providing the best network possible and being able to provide the best customer service possible. And so, you know, I think, you know, with me being able to reassure them and talk to them that, you know, everyone's looking forward to better things for Docomo.
That's good, having that face-to-face interaction like we were talking about earlier, and not just here on Guam, but also across the Marianas,
yes.
the other islands.
Yes, actually, you know, as I said, I've not just on Guam, flew to Saipan and met with our teams there, also met with the mobile team, the fixed team. So, you know, it's not just meeting with management. I really want to hear from our employees, from our folks in the retail stores, from our folks that are answering calls of our customers when they're upset, so that, you know, collectively, it's not just about me managing, but also hearing from them what are their needs, so that I can support them to do their jobs better for our customers.
Nice. All right. Any specific ideas that you're hoping to lead the charge on to help grow the company in this region?
So for me, you know, aside from the employees, sort of the second and third order of business is just regaining the customer's trust. You know, when we had the cyber incident, we did not, you know, compromise or have our customer data compromised, but there's still the fear, right? And then shortly after that, 90% of our fixed network went down. So our mobile network, you know, we were able to get that up and running rather quickly, but the fixed network, because it's a lot of miles of, you know, aerial fiber that you have to repair, took a while. And so, you know, customers became frustrated. You know, I have family members that are like, I love Docomo, but I just really need my service a lot quicker. And so, you know, part of like the initiative for me, first and foremost, with respect to our network, is getting it back to where it needs to be and regaining our customers' trust in the speed, the reliability, you know, just every facet that they've come to expect from Docomo Pacific.
You go watch our full interview with Christine on KUAM's YouTube channel.
Project Today is an initiative to honor living World War II survivors. It's a joint effort between the Office of Senator Jesse Lujan and the Guam Visitors Bureau. And this morning, some from the greatest generation were recognized in with a certificate presentation in Agani Heights. Jonah Gacharfers has more.
Project Today aims to collect the information of all living war survivors who endured the Japanese occupation on Guam between December 8, 1941 to August 10, 1944, which is the same time frame as the war claims, so they may be recognized for their courage, strength, and resilience. Senator Jesse Lujan explains how the collaboration between his office and the Guam Visitors Bureau came to be
enormously after the pandemic and all that, right? So sitting with former Governor Carl Gutierrez at their tent at the Guam Visitors Bureau, that one-day event that had happened, yeah, he was talking about war times, and former First Lady was there. We were talking about that, and I shared some of the stories that I heard from my parents as well. And then came about, you know, how many war survivors are there in Guam and who may have relocated?
They agreed that the survivors needed to be honored. The conversation went on for about a couple of months, with the senator reaching out to the 19 municipalities for assistance.
And I said the village mayors know their residents more than anybody else.
And the names started to come in almost immediately. More than 700 living survivors have been registered to date. Friday morning, some of the living survivors were presented certificates and a pin during a ceremony at the Agana Heights Senior Citizen Center. Senator Lujan encourages family and friends of Guam's living World War II survivors that are either on island or off island to check the survivors' respective village mayor's office to see if they're on the current list. If the survivor is not on the list, visit GuamVisitorsBureau.com/project today and fill out the form. Email at senatorlujan@guamlegislature.org. Jonah Goncharfres, KUAM News.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Here's a view captured from Leo Palace Resort.
Something is calling, and I can't help it. Let's don't belong when there ain't no song. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when I make a move. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when let's take a break. There's no use. Let's see what's new. This is my mood when I make a move. This is my mood when
You think KFC's new Cheetah isn't pizza because it's made with crispy fried chicken? You think the marinara, mozzarella, and pepperoni aren't enough? Well, you're right. It's not pizza. It's Cheetah. Only at KFC.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Let's give these a try.
Foodie Call is brought to you by Calbee. Harvest the power of nature.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Foodie Call. My name is Victorious.
And I'm Curtis, and for today's episode, we will be trying these Calbee chips, yeah!
Bro.
Pizza, seaweed and salt,
honey butter potato chips, and I can't wait for this one, hot and spicy potato chips.
Yeah, so let's get to it.
Let's go. You should try one of these, bro. Check it out. Let me clear the palate real quick.
Whoa.
Right?
It's really sweet.
Right.
Let's go move on to the next one.
I'm really, really excited.
Oh. All right, guys.
Bro. Like, look at that.
Cheers. Yo, this really tastes like pizza.
If you're looking for a snack for the office, these are it.
Or if you're just trying to have a chill summer at home, these are the perfect snacks for you. For me, my winner is for sure this one, the pizza flavor.
For me, because I love spicy, I'm gonna go with the hot and spicy. Honestly, I gotta say, I got the 2 big bags and it's definitely jam-packed and definitely worth your money. And you can share with your friends. And that pretty much wraps up another edition of Foodie Call. Thank you so much, Courtesy.
For sure, for sure. And a special thank you to Calbee for sponsoring today's episode. We'll see you guys next week.
Perfect.
These chips that Vic and Curtis left are pretty good. I'm surprised they left it with us.
Yeah, I'm not giving them back.
I don't think I'm going to either. All right, guys, and if Vic and Curtis forget to mention to you guys, these chips are all available at a store near you, island-wide. Make sure you get it.
Get them now.
Get them
Before they sell
now.
Bye.
Bye. Foodie Call is brought to you by Calbee. Harvest the power of nature.
Buenas and Hafa Guam, it's time for your daily dose of news bites. Well, in need of a job? We'll dust off those resumes because Hoshino Resorts Rizanari Guam is hosting a job fair Saturday, June 8th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for a job fair. The event will take place in the VIP room on the 3rd floor. They're looking to fill such positions like pool attendants, front office agent, security agent, and even food and beverage service. Also, mark your calendars for June 22nd. It's time to get on your dance shoes. It's Electric Island Festival returning to Guam. Headlining is Truncate, Lumberjack, and other talented DJs. They'll be taking over Plaza de España from 6 p.m. all the way until 2 a.m. General admission is $50 for 18 and over and $90 for 21 and over. You can grab your tickets right now on guamtime.net. And if you happen to be in Saipan, well, here's something for you. The Saipan Chamber of Commerce is holding its 2nd quarter professional development training on effective communication in the workplace. Training will be held Tuesday, June 18th from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Teapot 1 at the NMI campus. Participants are asked to bring their laptop and mobile device to enhance the training experience. Training fee for members is $50 and future members is $60. For more information, you can call 670-234-7150. And in case you missed any of this information, you can find it right now on KUAM.com. Have a safe weekend.
Now to your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shoutouts submitted on KUAM.com.
And the winner of a yummy ice cream cake.
There's Friday birthday love going out to Anthony Shimizu, so happy birthday, bro. Oh, no, excuse me, we got to do this the right way, the KUAM way, right? Happy birthday, bro. You are the best person we know, says your shout out, and we wish you the very best on your special day. We love you so much, says your family. And so that means this week's winner of a Cold Stone Creamery ice cream cake is Caitlin Sotomi, who we hope gets a really, really good flavor, her favorite flavor of an ice cream cake. Personally, I like the strawberry, but that's just me. All of them are good over there, even the mint chocolate chip. So, Caitlin, we hope you have an extended birthday present and you enjoy it and you share with friends, because that's what it's all about when it's your birthday.
And of course, we'll have more action from FestPac even throughout the weekend and for the coming days. Our Tawas Maglonia is there. Our partners over at PBS Guam and Kaha helping to provide all the content there. Man, I cannot believe. So
exciting.
Yeah, I still get chills as I was saying when Tomas was explaining to us here what to expect. Major FOMO. Major. That's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Have a safe weekend and stay beautiful.
And a safe evening too.
Hafiday, and welcome to this special panel for Decision 2024 in the Northern Marianas. I'm your host, Tomas Maglonia, and we are joined with the CNMI Youth Congress as they share their points of view amid this election season. We also want to give a very, very special thank you to Zeus Maasi, to Hafabin for hosting this conversation, for supporting our youth and our community. You can follow them on Instagram at Hafabin Coffee, and be sure you get the latest on the drinks and food and company that they have here as well. It's a great place to spend your day and grab a quick bite or drink throughout the week. So thank you again to Hafabin for allowing us to tape this here. And so like I said, we are joined with the CNMI Youth Congress, so we'll go ahead and start with introductions. Maybe we'll start with the speaker and we'll go down the line, and we also have a member joining us on Zoom. So please, yes.
So my name is Vinny Juan Sablan. I am the youth senator from Cagman High. I'm also the speaker of the 19th CNMI Youth Congress, and I am 16 years old.
Okay, happy day everyone. My name is Miley Peter. I'm the floor leader in the 19th CNMI Youth Congress, and I'm from Mount Carmel School. I'm also 16 years old.
Hi everyone, my name is Aiden Yumo, and I am from Grace Christian Academy, and I am 15 years old.
All right, thank you all. And we have Bella online. Bella, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Half a day, everyone. I am Isabella Palacios, and I am currently 16 years old, attending Tinian Middle School and High School, and I am currently the Youth Congress Legislative Secretary.
All right, thank you all for joining us. You all are providing a unique perspective. You can't vote just yet, but your opinion still matters, and every politician likes to say the youth are the future, they're the next generation of leaders, so here we are talking to you. And so maybe we'll start with the first question. Even if you can't vote, obviously you still care about some issues, given that you've sought out this seat to represent your school in the legislature. So what issues matter to you, generally?
Well, for me, I feel like, the economy is always going to be something that's super important for everybody in the Marianas. And I guess if I'm going to relate that to the youth, since I am in Youth Congress, one or a couple questions that I do have is how will our government, ensure that their high school and college graduates who study abroad and do have their degrees, can return and really engage with their people and, I guess, join the workforce. And, do we have economic plans that the government can provide with us so that we're able to fully plan our careers and our future, around that? Especially for me, since I know that I will be going off island for college, I want to make sure that I have something that I'm able to plan my future around.
Kind of going off of what speaker said, economically, I think the loss of businesses is a really big issue. For example, Hyatt, it just shut down, and a big revenue from that is really impacting our island. It has a domino effect from the employees that are losing their jobs and the small businesses within Hyatt that were, sharing their customers. And coming into the Youth Congress, business was one of my main goals that I wanted to achieve, like youth in business. So that's why the main issue for me is like how our future politicians are gonna, combat this big issue and for the future, yeah.
So one of the major issues for me is education. In the Youth Congress, I chair the Committee of Education, and to me, the future starts with education. So if we're gonna make advancements in our Commonwealth for the future, for several years from now, maybe several decades from now, it starts with education. Whether it be in PSS or private school or NMTech or NMC, as long as education is being supported in our Commonwealth, we're gonna move forward and could strive.
All right, and Isabella, joining us online, what issues matter to you?
So for me personally, I definitely think that distinguishing out, our cultural preservation and, innovative ideas and things that can help boost our economy and our government is something that's very important to me. Like how can we basically just ensure that we are preserving our culture while also trying to expand our CNMI and our Commonwealth to greater heights. I think that's something that we should definitely look more into because the Chamorro Carolinian, our culture, it's not always something that's going to be there if we keep going in a direction that leads us elsewhere.
All right, thank you all. This next question, I wanted to maybe narrow in on some of the responses you said and learn more about maybe what issues matter to your school, yes, to the village you live in, or to the island you're from. And so maybe we'll start from the opposite end of the table with Aiden and work our way to Isabella. But are there any school-specific issues or village-specific issues that you care about or that have come up?
One issue in my school is obviously coming from a private school. We don't have any cultural classes that teach the Carolinian or Chamorro cultures and languages in so our students, we don't really understand the culture and we don't really know the languages, so that's something that I really hope that in the future the private schools can pick up, along with Mount Carmel and other schools in our CNMI, to pick up the CCLHS, and so that our younger students in private, not only public, can know about our culture and language.
Yeah, so kind of shying away from the business standpoint, I think my school is like facing the same issues as GCA, coming like from two private schools. We're really lacking teachers, and I think that's just a super big issue, not just in private schools now, but in public schools. And it's like kind of coming down on us students. We're lacking certain classes and exactly like the cultural programs and stuff like that. I think those are yeah.
Well, for me, I do go to a public school, Calumet High, and for me, I feel like I would just love to see a lot more of our youth really engage in our community and really be out there. I want to see, lots of, youth activities and youth-related things happening in our community, because I want to see my peers, be engaged and really, flourish and thrive in the place that they live and in our beautiful home. So that's really.
For me, for my school, Tinian High School, I definitely have seen a lot of truancy happening, and there's been a raising number of retainees in my school, and I just definitely want to tackle that topic and kind of just ask ourselves and ask the staff, ask students around, how can we create a safer environment that encourages students to attend school and keep them safe in that environment.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
And Isabella, I think we'll just go ahead and start with you as well for this next question. Do you and your peers talk about the election or politics? If not, why do you think that is? But if we do, what is the conversation? Not just about what you care about, but what are you hearing your peers talk about?
So thankfully, Tinian is a very close-knit community, and I think politics and, the whole election process is something that goes on in elementary school, middle school, high school, even, like adults. And so my peers and I, we do often talk about this, and the things that we mainly talk about is kind of like our viewpoints coming from, different backgrounds. We have a whole bunch of opinions, and one specific thing that we usually talk about is, who do we want as our future leaders? What can they bring to the table that another person can't? And yeah, I definitely think that, election and politics is something that we talk about a whole bunch, and it shouldn't really be something that we can shy away from, especially as future voters and future policymakers even.
So that was a really great answer, Bella. And, for me, I really do think that it's important to be really proactive, as young citizens. The decisions that politicians make, with, advice from our people, they don't just affect them, they affect everybody in our Commonwealth, including the youth. And so I think that we need to keep up with the issues going on and everything going on and things that we are challenged with, so that when it's our time to lead, we are able to kind of effectively address the issues and really make a difference, a positive impact.
Yeah, so of course I feel like, especially at my school, we're always talking about, the election coming up or politics, especially since it's all around us and, it's the people that we grow up with. When it comes to our duties in the Youth Congress, we use politics to see and reach out to representatives that will assist us in doing our own jobs. So we kind of look at them as our role models to what we do in the Youth Congress.
So in my school, we do talk about the election, but most of the time it's about Republican, Democrat. But what I do want to see more is my peers engaging in conversations that, there's questions like, how will this election affect us, or how can it help us, or what can we get from this election? That's what I want to be hearing more from conversations in my peers, besides, Republican, Democrat, or who you're voting for, or stuff like that.
And for this next question, it's general, but I wanted to know, maybe you've seen the news or you're on social media and posts are shared. What are some characteristics that you look for, when someone says they're running for office? And Bella, we'll just start with you again.
Okay, so one specific characteristic that I look for in candidates, whether it be in Youth Congress or even, on, our official policymakers, is definitely how you present yourself on and off camera. From a young age, I understood that you can't just look good on camera and then be something else completely different off camera. And that also just shows a lot about your character. Are you just putting up a front, or are you a good person in and out? And what are your motives? Because if your motives are different than the things that you're doing behind the scenes, then what makes you think that other people will be following the things that you post, knowing that you do something completely different? It's all about being a good role model on camera and off camera.
Well, for me, I think a great candidate has, a keen understanding of issues that are going on, in our islands. They're a problem solver and they're fit to lead. And to kind of explain more about that is, political office is a very demanding and very high stress, I guess, job to have. And I feel that someone who prioritizes their health is able to really effectively and efficiently solve issues that and concerns that pertain to the people that they're working for and working with. And I really think that someone who is able to effectively communicate what our needs are is a really great leader.
Yeah, for me, I definitely will look for people that are well educated, because I really look up to those that take the time to learn themselves before spreading it to other people and leading the economy. And I also look for people who live by their word and promises. It's super important that we go back and compare the things that they've said versus what they've done now to ensure our trust in that specific person.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
So to build on what Bella said, someone who's a good role model on and off camera, despite the fact that I cannot vote, I'm looking at a candidate who doesn't just show up in the months of April to November, and then after that you never see them again. You never see anything they do. But then when it's election time, they're out there and they're doing all of that. I want a candidate who's gonna serve even if they're not in office, 10 years before they're in office, or even after they're in office. I want a candidate like that.
All right, this next question is maybe a little sensitive, but you guys are up to the task and you're leaders to answer this question. How much influence does your family have on your decision? I know you haven't voted yet, but when you do in a year or two, I guess the question is, how does family impact your thought process and who you support or might not support? And start with speaker here.
So I think that our upbringing and where we come from really does play a huge role, in how we make decisions. And I feel like home is really where, we experience our first, conflict and, challenges and how we deal with them. And I guess we can learn from that exposure that we get at home, and I guess learn how to approach certain situations and eventually make decisions for ourselves.
Yeah, like how I brought up earlier, we're surrounded with politicians, and we grew up, we might have grown up in specific parties ourselves, but I think that my family does influence my decision, or will influence my decision a lot at the end of the day, because we're deciding on our future and what will benefit us personally, or not only personally, but our family and community as a whole.
So to me, yes, families do really influence. Obviously, many of us have grown up around politics or the political spectrum, and we see that some members of our family will go crazy for some candidates, and that they would really, if they find out that we don't support them, they would really be upset, and it would cause like a conflict. And family sometimes they force on us who we're gonna vote for and what party we're gonna support. But like what the speaker said, it would be nice if it's good that families have an influence on who we're gonna support, but it should also be us ourselves making our decision for ourselves.
I definitely agree with what all of my colleagues said. I definitely do think that family does have an influence on my decision. And thankfully, I was able to grow up in a household where my opinion matters and I don't really have to fall in line. So my family basically, they give me the information that I need, and it's up to me if I want to follow it or go against it. So to an extent, they do have an influence on me. Maybe not in the way that the question was formatted.
And Miley, I think we'll go ahead and start with you for this next one. How should politicians reach out to young voters? Do they need to have a TikTok? Do they need to be doing things on Instagram, or should they be visiting your school? Yeah, how do you want the candidates to reach out to young voters?
Yeah, so of course the media is always going to be a super impactful way to reach out to our youth, but a more intimate way is to host activities, or recently there's been a lot of tournaments, like volleyball, basketball tournaments, just for a way for the politicians to come out and introduce themselves, and during the tournament they can have a one-on-one talk, and from that we can really see their passion and their drive for what they would want for us as youth.
Aiden?
I like that idea of visiting the schools. I think, if politicians today want to really get to the youth, they should go to the schools and have, like what Miley said, one-on-one conversations, try and touch base with them. They can be really tall, but then they can get down and have a one-on-one conversation with the kindergartner. That's how they can really get to know youth and get to.
I guess just to echo their answers, I think that it's really important, for politicians to get in touch with our youth and have our youth, really sit on the table and I guess make decisions with them. I feel that our politicians are making decisions that affect everyone, including us, and I think that they do need to get our perspective on certain things, how we feel about it, what we think about it, and it's really just all about that one-on-one, like they said, and really having us sit on the table and really discussing issues that we think matter to us, and hopefully they can be able to address that.
Yeah, kind of just adding on to what everyone's saying, nowadays, we just won't sit in a crowd and listen to someone, speak, and, I don't know how to explain it,
Rally.
Yeah, kind of like rally. We get, the youth will get bored, so I guess you can all agree that a way for the politicians to reach out to us is from a more active standpoint and more direct and, a passionate kind of talk. Yeah.
Is KFC's new cheetah pizza?
Fried chicken? That's not pizza.
That's right. It's not pizza. It's cheetah. Only at KFC.
And for you, Isabella?
I also kind of wanted to add on to Aiden's response from the last question in regards to, politicians or, candidates for the upcoming election. And if they're just going to show up when the election time comes, then where's that drive to, really connect with your youth and with your peers? And so I think the one of the ways that candidates should reach out to young voters is to honestly just show their support from day one, even if they never thought they would run for office. Taking that time out of your day to really just reach out to other people and to just share those things, even if you don't have it in your power to do it. I think that's something that can really encourage young voters to and maybe even like petition to have someone run or to encourage other people to, do those things as well.
I want to turn the tables a little bit and talk about not just how to get politicians to reach out to you, but how maybe we should get your peers to also register to vote, because that's the very first step. You can't just show up on election day, right? Yeah. And your generation will be voting at the very least in the next gubernatorial election in 2 years. So that's near. It's not too far away. So, your vote and your opinions matter now. And so, yeah, what are some thoughts maybe on how to get them to the voting site?
I guess relating back to my answer for the previous question, I feel like that one-on-one talk will really get, I guess, more people to register to vote. It'll have kind of like a domino effect. And I think that the Election Commission, just like Miley said, we have so many platforms. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have TikTok, all of these things that I guess the young voters are really active on. I think it's just about, I guess, putting it out there, register to vote, your vote counts and all of that.
Yeah. One way that we can encourage more youth to register to vote is by having them do it during their senior year before graduation, because that's the time, we're all just turning 18, and like what Vinny Boy said, speaker said, we can call in the election committee to kind of just talk about how, we can always voice our opinions, but it won't really matter unless you don't vote, because at the end of the day, you're always going to be voting for your future.
That was a great question that had me really stumped, because there is so many different ways that we can, get students to vote, but which one really works, right? And so I think the one thing that I came up with maybe at the top of my head is really just incorporating it into, our school lives. I think school has a very big impact on all of us, and bringing that discussion into a school environment will definitely help broaden our youth. Broaden our youth's knowledge on, the voting process and why our vote matters. And definitely school is a really good outlet for that, especially if you don't label it, under politics, right? Because politics is such a sensitive word. So, just wording it correctly and bringing light to it on an unbiased perspective, I think that could definitely help encourage our youth to register to vote.
All right, Aiden, we'll go to you now.
Bring the youth out to register to vote is for them to know the importance of elections, and that, like I said earlier, the future is the youth. And you asked us earlier about our top issues, and we all answered. So if everyone had an issue, knew about an issue, they would go out and vote with the knowledge of what's going on in our CNMI and the importance of any election, whether it be gubernatorial or a midterm or even a Stuco election, just to know the importance of why voting, about voting.
All right. I want to open it up. Any last words, maybe encouragement to your peers to be engaged? Anyone have anything else to say in closing?
Even though we're sitting here as non-voters, we're all still under 18. I think it's super important that we keep ourselves aware and in the loop of everything going on in our island, big or small. Yeah.
Well, I do want to thank you so much for having us today, and thank you so much to Hafabin for inviting us.